be over and over. To lead by an any big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies. And we must do it big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies. And any
America first, America first.
Non-fatal, we want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication
Very much higher. America first.
to lead by an any.
Insiders fighting for insiders.
Time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders.
Time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. America first.
Love the flow. 69.
Now it's time for new
Believable,
people.
and we must do it. If we don't control,
Insiders.
this will be over and over. To lead by an any big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies. And we must do it big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies. And any
America first. America first.
non-fatal, we want to build a much
Better
believable,
people.
and we must do it non-fatal. Communication
Very much higher. America first.
to lead by an any.
Insiders fighting for insiders.
Time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders.
Time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. America first.
Love the flow. Welcome to NerdCap. Here we are.
I didn't get to pee.
I tried to give you time. I did. I tried to give you time.
Well, you said it. Well, you were like, "Oh, it's the countdown's already going," and I was like,
Countdown's going. Yeah, we did the countdown, and then we did a song, and then we did our bumper.
and I
Our
would
little
have,
bumper.
I would have missed the song. I've never
You
seen
would have.
that
That
one.
was a good one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of looking for more and more fun things like that,
I
so that
like that.
we can share those with our audience, however big or small they may be. Entertaining. That's what I want to be. Entertaining.
Does Todd know he's muted? No.
I don't think Todd knows he's muted. I don't think Todd knows how to work the mute.
Yeah, I just said the whole Declaration of Independence, like within that 30-second time window. And you must-
Really? That's
I believe it.
amazing. That's amazing. So yeah, we got quite a few here tonight. Guys, please let us know that you're watching. At least give a little how do you do in the chat. We'll say hi. We're gonna have some conversation. It's gonna last about an hour tonight. Okay, so we're gonna try to keep it about an hour because we've been streaming for a long time already, and Piper's got to pee. Piper never got to pee. So no, we would. But yeah, we're gonna talk about a few things tonight. Just kind of, vent about. Let's vent about some things in the comic book industry that that things we wish we never learned, things we wish we didn't know about the industry. We're gonna talk about some of those things tonight because we all have them, right? We all have them. So feel free to pop that. Kind of pop in the chat. Let us know what you think, what you feel, and we're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna have a really good time. Real quick, you might notice at the bottom of the screen down there's a code going by. It says use code NERD10 for 10% off your Gemini orders. We are not sponsored by Gemini, but we are an affiliate, okay? I use Gemini mailers. Piper used Gemini mailers. Todd will use Gemini mailers. We've all received books in Gemini mailers, right? It's the way to go. And we want to be able to encourage you to use a good product, to ship out your good product. So please go buy Gemini mailers. Check that out. Use Nerd10 to save 10% off of your order. that includes everything, from the mailers to the bags and boards. In fact, I just got 1,000 bags and boards each for Modern and for Silver Age, because I've been going through bags and boards so quickly. I'm like, I just need more. I gotta have them. So I'm buying.
What are you
them
bagging
in
Silver Age?
Trades. My trades go in Silver Age. Yeah, so that gives me a little more room. So yeah, I bag in Silver Age there. And I did have some issue 2s printed at Silver Age and not Modern. And I was like, yeah, great. I set these up. I set the files up to where they'd be printed at standard, and they were a 1/4 inch bigger than what they should have been. It was crazy. So let's say hello. Say hello. Hello. Frickin' words. Words can get hard, man. Mo's here. Mo. We yeah. Babaconda. Or we got this guy too. You guys know who this guy is? Oh, where's he at? Where'd you go, you frickin' weirdo? There he is.
Hamalana.
You know that guy?
Yeah, I was just introduced to him on Finatra's channel.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Today.
Really? I'm gonna tell you what. There's a lot of people out there that they wouldn't believe that I was, a former minister, that I'm, devout believer. As much as I make fun of some of these, what I call charlatans and heretics. I feel like it's perfectly reasonable to make fun of a charlatan and heretic.
I was about to say, I think ridiculing them and making fun of them is the nicest thing that can be.
Well, the Bible actually talks about it. You know what it says about doing that? Do it! That's what it says about. Yeah. That happens. Yeah, that's how that works. But yeah, so anyway, we got Mo Biggs. Mo, thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate you very much. You'd better have a good excuse for being this late and gay. Yeah, I was on another channel dealing with your shenanigans.
Yeah.
Trump's fault.
Takes
Trump's
a while.
fault. I love it. Trump's fault. We got 24 Eyes here tonight. Welcome, 24 Eyes. Welcome, Indie Wrestling Aces. Good to have you here. Hail, hail, hail. What's up? Mo Big says, save money on shipping by using Jim Monai mailers, aka rubber bands, to wrap around your rolled up book. Yeah. Oddly enough, not that funny compared to some of the books I got. I've actually got a book back here. So I've got a stack of books that this week I hope to open up and start posting individual videos off of this big video I'm going to film. But what I want to do is I want to do reviews of the books that I've gotten. And now these are old too, because this started coming in when I was in the hospital last year. So like a year's worth of books have come in. And so I need to open them up, and I'm not going to review the content. I'm going to review the shipping and the quality of the prints and the stuff that comes with it. So that's what I'm going to review. Very subjective. Objective stuff. Nothing subjective in my review.
That's good. That's not something people are really doing.
They're not, and that's why I wanted to do it. I wanted to say, okay, this is what you get. Now, there's one of them. It came in, and I opened it because I didn't know it was a comic book. That's not good. That's not good.
At least one or two, maybe more, come in and the same thing. I was surprised it was a.
Welcome, Dutton finally made it.
Hey, Joseph.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
All right,
Can you
cool,
hear me
because
now?
I'm driving.
Oh, okay. Well, don't
nice.
crash and don't die, because we don't want this stream to get famous for
It's
the
okay.
wrong reasons. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna robot a little
I'm
bit.
on
And we'll be fine.
Bluetooth. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm on Bluetooth. I'm gonna robot for a little bit. It'll be fine. Just talk amongst yourselves, right? Right, John? Welcome, Rob. It's good to have you here, Rob. Good to have you. We got Blue Samurai also in the house tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's been a busy day of promoting. But anyway, so this book came in, and I had to open it because I thought it was something else, like a document. But they put it in just a cardboard envelope, and so oddly enough, people are doing that kind of stuff, and it.
They wrap it in tape.
They did not wrap it in tape. Yeah, it was.
Bubble wrap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that reminds me of like another one or two, where they used Gemini mailers. This was awesome. They wrapped the mailer in so much tape, and then they wrapped
Yeah.
the stuff in a crap ton of tape.
Wow.
Yeah, to where I'm like, I just remember both times, like I was sitting there going, I'm gonna end up destroying this book trying to open it.
Hello.
I was very scared of doing that.
Yeah.
So there's been two that I've gotten. One has been Michael Brankoff's book, and the other one is Wolfsbane comics. And those have been like the best packaging that I've seen of the ones that I've gotten.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
both
I
of those
love.
you just open it up, and it's an experience opening it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like an Apple product, huh? Like it just
Yeah.
just takes you to places, transcends, huh?
What a story, Mark.
You know, when you find books that are wrapped like that, I mean, it just it gives you confidence. You know, it gives you confidence in buying, you know, stuff from. Well, here's the thing: anytime you back a project and you actually get it, and when you get it in good shape, and the creators kind of deliver on all the other fun stuff with it, it just, you know, it really gives confidence in, you know, in this whole crowdfunding thing.
I'm gonna go out and buy some more.
Okay.
And I think you should too.
I think you should too.
Hell yeah. Doopy says.
Like an Apple product, yes, Bancroft does come across as gay at times. Yeah. Oh, he's not even here to defend himself, which is the funnest part of it. Is it funnest or the most fun? How would you say that, editor?
It's actually surprising me because it really should be most fun, but recently I have learned that funnest is
Also acceptable?
funnest or most fun is apparently a big Google search.
That's a big. Yeah.
It was like auto-filled right away.
You know what? It used to be like, how do you move to Canada? That used to be a big Google search. How many people didn't move to? I just know.
Most fun is more common, but now it is acceptable to use funnest, and I think it shouldn't be.
I don't think it should be either, even though I do it because.
It's the most supercalifragilisticexpialidocious moment.
Right. Leave.
Where's the beef?
If
I
use
don't know
words
why I
that
hit the where's the
think-
beef. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. I meant to hit this one.
Not to worry. I have a permit.
This just says I can do what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to talking, when it comes to words, I do and say what I want, what I darn well please. So yeah, this is but we've been promoting a lot recently. So especially this this book we got going, and so welcome Anthony. Dark Gift is here.
Howdy.
There we go. Good to have you tonight, man. This is good. This is a fun panel.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I was watching Timcast in real life, and they got to the super chat part, and I fell asleep on the couch.
Totally understandable. Hopefully, you know, given that this is NerdCap and the whole idea is to cap off your night, we expect some people to fall asleep, but hopefully they don't fall asleep because of boredom.
Right, because of NerdCap movies.
Because of NerdCap. Hail Justin and Anthony.
Yomo Biggs.
There is a harsh Lutheran tradition of mocking the charlatans and heretics. I love doing it. It's my favorite thing.
I was gonna say, like, I was listening to what Piper was just saying about funnest. Or you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
One thing that always irritated me, like I would think it should be more fun as well, and like same thing with the word stupid and stupider.
Yeah.
Like
more stupid.
I would feel like it should be more stupid, but no, apparently it's stupider.
Or the most stupid.
Right.
Not the
most
stupidest.
But you know what? But stupidest actually sounds good.
It does.
That's
most
the stupidest shit I've ever
better
seen.
Yet, or better
right?
yet, most stupidest.
That's the most stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Right. It just it
I like
Well,
stupidest, but you're
as
right.
long
I
as you
don't
don't
like
go full
stupider.
retard, yeah.
My sister believes it's stupidest.
Yeah.
Stupidest. It sounds all right. My favorite part of Timcast in real life is they always title their shows with a topic, so you know what they will spend 30 to 40 seconds
Yeah.
discussing. I almost read that minute. 30 to 40 seconds. Yeah, that's great. Blue thinks that the idea of the just reviewing the objective aspects of the prints and everything is a good idea. So I think I'm going to do that. In fact, I'm going to try to get that done tomorrow. I've been rearranging the office in the back, so there's going to be some new lighting back there coming up, hopefully in the next few days, and a couple of new printers. So I decided to make the plunge, take the plunge, and I've got my PLA printer back there, and I'm going to add a resin printer to the mix back there. And I moved it all the way back because I used to have it sitting behind Bob here. And whenever I would run the prints, they go for days sometimes, right? This microphone would definitely pick it up. If my old one did, this one will definitely pick it up. And so I'm trying to get it as far away from the microphone as possible. And hopefully the noise gate will cut down on it. But I don't know. We'll find out when I actually get a long print going. Who knows? So, how's everybody else's
What are you
week
going to
going?
print from that?
What I'm going to print? Well, I'm going to print. Okay, so I really wanted to go. I was. Here's how immature I am. I was going to say, well, I was going to print pictures of your mom, but I don't know why. That was like, I just don't say that, Luke. That's so stupid. No, I'm going to print action figures and statues for the next Hybrids campaign, and then some other things that are out there.
So is it like your 3D bust of Trash Man?
Yeah, but I've actually got a full statue of him now. So I've got we're going to do some smaller ones and then some larger ones. So the full, here we are. Yeah, the full
I
bust.
honestly think that 3D printing is going to be a bigger factor in indie comics in the next year or two.
Really?
Yep.
You know what I think is going to be a big factor in indie comics? Trying to sell indie comics, I think, is probably the biggest factor right now. That's one of the things. So our topic tonight is things I wish I didn't know about the comic book industry. One of the things that I wish I didn't know was how hard it was to friggin' sell a comic book. Sometimes you can't even give these things away.
yeah, true.
Right? So there was a tweet by an anti, and this has been brought up on a couple of different channels already, but they had brought up that the it just feels like it's only indie creators that are supporting indie creators. Now I don't find that to be true. Like I actually have quite a few people that buy my books that don't make a comic book, and then I have people that buy my books that they're making their own comic book now, but because like one of them directly said, "You inspired me to make a comic book," and like that feels like amazing when you can be the person that inspires someone to do that. But so there's this thing where people feel like it's the same $25 being passed around. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Oh, I've always said, I've heard this argument before. It's always come up in a different way. Like you said, it's the same money circulating around different people or whatever. And it's like, you have to understand, for a lot of us, we started off as just a customer. And somewhere along the line, like you said, somebody inspired us to give it a shot.
Right.
Just because we put out a book it doesn't mean that we stopped being a customer.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe for some people. Maybe some people just stopped buying comics when they started making their own because they want, they didn't have the money because they're dumping it into their stuff. And for some of us, we still find a way, maybe instead of backing the $300 tier like we used to, now we're back at the $75 tier but you know what I mean? We're still customers, and that'll never change, I don't think, for the most part.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but I'll also just to add in, the whole indie creators doing indie is the more you get into the indie scene, it seems like the more you're willing to, like as a creator, the more you're also willing to back and buy indie over like the mainstream stuff, because you're like, hey, I know how like much heart and difficult goes into a self-made comic compared to something like more corporate owned.
Well, there's some additional things to that. I think part of it is who you follow.
Yeah.
I think if all you're doing is following other indie creators, I try to, when a fan, like someone that doesn't create books, follows me, I try to follow them back.
Me too.
Like I actually, because I want to know what they're posting. I want to know what they're tweeting. Like what's going on with them? What are they sharing? That's but I guess I'm just a little weird that way. I also kind of disagree with some people. Okay, so I said this earlier on a stream. I'll say it again on ours. I have nothing but respect for Michael Bancroft. He is a tremendous guy. He shares his platform with creators. He's got an engaged audience, and he has certainly found a way to sell comic books on YouTube. And I'm trying to find my niche in order to be able to do that same thing that he's doing, right? Taking a lot of info that he's sharing. But, I also think that we need to have some FaceTime with fans, not just through social media or YouTube. Like we need to have, like we tell people all the time to go out and touch grass, right? I like go out and shake hands, go out and like look, that there's talk to people. And so I think, going to conventions and, getting into comic book shops, and things like that, even to do just signings, just to say, hey, I've got a book, whether they're going to carry your book or not, say, hey, can I come do a signing one day, for your store, we'll promote or whatever, just to get out and talk to people that do like comic books and buy comic books and get to know what they're into. And I think it's an important aspect of it. But yeah, I certainly felt like there was a while where it was only, I called it, now pardon the expression, I know this is very crass, but I called it the indie circle jerk, because it just felt like the same, like everybody was just stroking each other's egos and they were just helping one another all the time. And there's always those people that back with the expectation of reciprocity, if you understand that.
Yeah. No, you can't do that. You'll never back another person again if you expect that.
Yeah. Right.
I think that's part of it. Just being in the indie community, you're going to support other indie creators just because they're friends, or you believe in what they're doing, or you just want to help them. But yeah, for the book that I'm currently working on, my target audience is teen to younger 20s, and it's not not everybody in our community is teen to younger 20s,
right?
And so I've got to go out there and find that audience.
Right, you got it. Yeah, like we're doing the sci-fi gig here with the Rift Riders, and it's not the typical book out there. So 24 Eyes says it great. There's some creators that depend on one another, or on other creators, or sexually explicit content to sell anything. And that, okay, so I heard a creator complain that people weren't buying the book on merit or whatever, but yet they had 24 titty covers for their book. And it's like, and they're like, well, stop doing those. And then people will, if they come back, it's for the story. If they don't, it was for the titty covers. And he goes, well, I tried that. They won't sell. Well, then it's not for the story.
Right.
If they're not buying it without the titty covers, they're not buying it for the story. They're buying it for the porn, is what they're doing. And here's the thing. Here's what I've learned in my years of ministry. People are sad and horny. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if you can make something to make them less sad and less horny, they're probably going to buy it. They're probably going to pick it up. So sexually explicit stuff sells really well. And it's how it is.
You're going to find that audience.
Yeah, but that's the only audience that you're going to find. That's another thing that I wish I wish I didn't know. That really, like, if you really wanted to be successful on Kickstarter, particularly, Well, Dutton keeps coming in and out. That's what she said. And Piper is out. I don't know what happened. She's in the chat. She said, "Well,
in the chat, yeah.
something happened. Something happened." But yeah. So yeah, I think the thing I wish one of the things I wish I did not know was that especially on Kickstarter, that all you had to have is a sexually explicit cover, and you could sell gangbusters.
Oh yeah, they love the cheesecake over there, you know. And it's cool, you know, if you want to have like I think it's cool to have like one like cheesecake cover, like if you can, if your character calls for it. But
Luck Nuts, what's up, buddy?
Oh hey Lug.
He's got a real name. I didn't know he had a real name.
Yeah. I think we follow each other on Facebook.
Sex sells, sadly. It really does.
But no, I do
if you're
remember
geared towards teens. You know, you can't.
Oh yeah. I
can't
mean,
do that.
You put a chick with a bra, bikini, or something
Yeah.
on the cover, and you're selling it. But
Oh yeah.
like I remember somebody I don't know if someone told me or I was just listening to something about making comics and stuff, and they were like, you know, the cover is what's going to sell the book. You know, this is obviously going back to like, you know, the days of like this is going to be in a store, so you got to catch the reader's eye. And that doesn't necessarily mean it always has to be, you know, a cheesecake cover, you know. But that's like the default, like the lazy way about making a cover. You know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah, that's gonna catch anybody's eye. That's gonna catch the 15-year-old. It's gonna catch the 45-year-old. You know what I mean? So
I feel like it's for me. It's just so enticing to want to put one of those covers on because you know, well, if I have that that cover or that print, I'm going to automatically get more backers in that area. You know, but you know, it could be tough. It could be tough. That's one of the things, you know, I kind of wish I didn't know that about the industry.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, to come up with a really cool cover that's eye-catching and making people want to see what's on the inside without actually having it be not the creative outlet.
Yeah, talking about Piper's outlet dying. Another outlet dying. Hopefully not the creative outlet. That's like dad joke of the day.
I should have freaking peed while I was waiting for the freaking
Well, you
internet
should
modem
have.
to boot back up. Why did I not do that?
I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
outlets in this apartment are dying. They just stop working. And they
That sounds
stop
like
working one plug at a time.
That sounds like a landlord problem. That's what that sounds
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, you know what else has been a landlord problem for over a year? The fact that the stove oven thingy hasn't worked for over a year. So I'm still waiting on that. I'm sure they'll get to these outlets anytime now.
That's an old building type of issue because at the restaurant I work at, that we have outlets that are like that like only one plug out of the two work or neither one works and stuff. And thankfully, they're spread out around the restaurant, like through the dining room, so it's not like we're really using those plugs very often. You know?
Is it dangerous, or is it just?
No, it's not dangerous as long as you still have like a closed circuit. It's not dangerous. Yeah.
I don't think that they know what they. I think they tried to hire some random maintenance dudes to do fix the wiring here after the fire.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have a working stove and working outlets,
That's a
you
problem.
basically complain to. I forget the. Forgive me, I can't think of the name of the people that you would complain to, but that's like a slumlord situation.
Like a Better Business Bureau or
running out
your local news station.
Outlets, and they
stuff.
are owned. This is a government owned.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
So
they get away with a lot of shit.
So let me ask this question: backer fatigue. Backer fatigue. Do you guys think it's a thing? People in the chat. There's quite a few of you here right now from the different outlets from which we are streaming. Do you think that there is such a thing as backer fatigue for your own wallet or your backers' wallets?
I was gonna say because I back too, and so yeah, I can say that it's a thing. But I
have a list of stuff that I want to back, but the list keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's like, like. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, and also, how many backers have been, burnt by campaigns that haven't fulfilled yet? and are waiting. And,
Yeah.
You know, I think that hurts, you know, some.
Mo says that he does believe in it. He can see that some creators are tired of dealing with their backers. Yeah, yeah. Mo, I'm telling you, Mo's a clever guy. I wonder what he's like at work. Like, could you imagine like being the guy that like works next to Mo at work?
Oh, he's
Like,
probably
just-
the quietest guy at work.
Oh no, I guarantee he does quiet little trolls. I think it'd be he'd be the guy like I'd want to work with, and I'd be like pointing out, I was like, look at them, they're wearing something stupid, say something funny. Like I'd be I'd point him out. So yeah, I wish honestly, I'm glad I know about backer fatigue, but I wish I'd have known about it earlier. But here's the other problem with backer fatigue. It makes me realize that there are certain circles of people within indie comics that they kind of share an audience if they've networked with one another, which is good. That's really what we want to do. We want to we want to really increase our audience and increase trust with our audience by sharing other projects and creators that we think are good with them. To say, hey, check them out, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what we try to do that, right? But what winds up happening is that you get kind of these basic circles, like, okay, most of my backers and your backers are similar, so you'll try to stagger it. But then you'll have people that aren't in your circle. So let's be honest, we've got, you know, several former pros that now crowdfund, right? Across the board, they're doing this, and so when you are up against some pros that everybody wants to support, it can be difficult as a smaller creator to kind of latch, you know, to try to not get left out, you know, and still try to earn some of those bucks, because some of those backers can get really fatigued, especially if there's 3 or 4 really big releases all at once. It's just like anything else. It's just like if you're running a local concert and a big band's coming into town, right? It's like, you know, that the big band is probably going to get the audience. Or if there's a couple of things going on, like it happens with movies or CD releases, you know, we deal with it. It's across the board.
Yeah.
Understanding how to deal with backer fatigue is something I still haven't gotten the hang of yet.
I think, and this is coming at it from like any retail or even the like restaurant industry kind of mentality. You know, you always have to try to, you know, without cutting too much into your own profit margin, you gotta try to undercut the big dogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it was different when there was only a handful of people doing this. You can throw a book out there for $25. You might not be able to do $25 anymore. You know what I mean?
If you want to lower our prices.
Yeah.
Especially
in the climate that we're in too. Like, just even if they
not
weren't
even to compete, just to have an audience.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, you know, like, you know, like being in the restaurant business all my life, like, you know, a new restaurant opens up and they're literally having like the biggest like bargains that you could possibly get, you know, buy one, get one, you know, a dinner for 2 for X amount of dollars, this, that, and the other thing. And then during hard economic times, you got to do stuff like that. And we're rolling into one of the hardest economic times that I think a lot of us have been alive for. You know, so
here is something. Okay, this is a perspective I've not considered yet. Thanks, Steve, for sharing this. Sometimes we who back do get to that lowness after backing what we know will be a success. I'd never even thought of that before. That because part of the fun of backing a project is supporting somebody that is trying to make it and helping them become a success. You know, if you back something you know is going to be like I've got the Todd McFarlane action figure back there, the Spawn that he crowdfunded.
Yeah,
I knew it was going to be a success. I knew out of the gate he was going to make a lot of money. You know, I'm waiting on my book from Eric July. I've got some concerns that it's not going to be as good as it should be, given the crap he gives everybody about their crap, But when I backed it, I knew it was going to be a success. I mean, it had already funded. When I backed, by the time I got to it, a couple hours after it launched, it was already successful. It had already blown all of the expectations out. So yeah, I get that. That's a neat one. Now Randy Zim, our publisher, Piper, is here. Randy, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate you watching. Just got a book I backed 15 months ago. I'm very cautious who I back now, of course.
That's gonna happen. So.
Yeah, but I think that also can kind of create not just backer fatigue, but a lack of backer trust and confidence.
Yeah. And what sucks if you get burned by one person's campaign, you're kind of burned on all of them a little bit. Like,
what's up, LA?
But one thing I agree is when I have the money to back, I end up going on a backing spree, and then I can't do it again for a while. Is what I end up doing.
Yeah.
But when I do have the money to back, I look for the campaigns that need help first.
That's a good
thing.
Right,
because then I feel good. I feel like I actually did something. If I'm backing one of those big campaigns, I know I'm backing specifically for the stuff, and that whether or not I ever backed it does not matter one shit to them. Like,
we talked a little bit about this in our Genesis Crew chat, which last week I shared the Genesis Crew bumper, and it turned out to be incredibly
just a bumper.
An incredible letdown. I wanted way more than what I got, so we need more of a bumper on that one. So anyway, we talked a little bit about this idea of encouraging people encouraging people to buy one and back one. For every project that you back that is going to be a success, find one of these campaigns that's like less than $10,000. That's maybe it's getting close to funding but not quite there. Look through some of those and see if one of them speaks to you and try to back one of those. Help give a smaller creator an opportunity to wow you. Now, granted, they may not wow you. You don't have to back them again, but maybe they will. And a lot of times, especially on these other creators, you can get in at like a digital PDF tier, right? For $5. Even that helps out. It just doesn't have to be anything, tremendous.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying about the pricing. Like, with a saturated market, having someone take a chance on you is going to be harder and harder if your price point isn't appealing. I mean, the book has to be appealing. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking, but just from what's going to make someone part with their money. It's going to be the price. It's going to be the value, and you're like I said, we're talking about unknowns. You know what I mean? You can see the artwork on the campaign page, but is the writing going to be good? Is the quality of the print job going to be good? All those things come into factor. So, I gotta think that. It's coming into a part where maybe doing 48, 60 page, 90 page books is going to dwindle down to 32, 36 page books at like $10 or $12 a pop.
Well, honestly, that's I've already been at a low price point at 32 pages, and a lot of people are like, graphic novels is what you need. You need these bigger books like that. And I was like, look, I'm just going to chip away at my graphic novels by telling the story in floppies and then compiling the graphic novel for people that want to buy that way. And it's been successful for me, but I can see that at this point, I'm looking for ways that I can personally bring the prices down for the backers, for the buyers. And that's one of the things I wish I didn't know, is how incredibly political people make the business. Mm-hmm. That even now, it's like before it used to be, I make a book and who I voted for didn't matter, and I will go and I'll use this printer because this printer does a good job with the best price, and who I voted for and who they voted for didn't matter. And now it all matters. Right. And it's stupid that it all matters, but which kind of brings
Or
us.
just because you liked the book. I mean,
Yeah, I
liked what you saw.
Yeah.
It was what they believed.
Yeah, it's like, well, you don't like that. I can't believe you like that book. It's da da da. I'm like, well, it entertained me, so suck it. Because I'm that way. Like, so here's the deal. Like, I actually liked The Last Jedi, and a lot of people are like, I can't believe you liked it, right? It was fan service. I'm like, yeah, it was fan service. I wanted fan service. That's what I wanted. Give me more of that. The other two movies they made wasn't fan service. Could they have been better? Absolutely. Is Rey a Mary Sue? Absolutely. Did they make a lot of mistakes? Absolutely. But they gave me fan service in that last movie, and I enjoyed it. So suck it. I liked it. Leave me alone. I don't care if you don't like it. Stop judging me. I don't need your judgment. I
Are you
enjoyed
talking
it.
about Rise of Skywalkers?
Yeah,
You
Rise
like
of Skywalker. That
you
one. I
like
liked
the last
that
one?
last one. I liked it. Yeah.
I actually
liked it.
liked the first one, and
Oh,
I didn't
Rise
like
of
the other
Skywalker.
two. Yeah,
Yeah. But that's okay.
thought-
I'm not going to put you down for liking it.
Yeah, I
Right?
thought Force Awakens. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's just such a beat for beat remake of New Hope." I'm like, exactly what they were going for. They wanted
Yeah.
to hit those member berries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
other
so
two I thought were awful.
I was like, but some people were kind of bashing the Robin book or whatever, the art in it. And me and I think Fathead, I think is his name on Twitter, he shared, he goes, I actually like his art. And I'm like, I kind of do too. It for what it is, it's enjoyable to me. I don't always want to see just a clone of everything else, We saw that in the 90s. Like, there's books that I'm like, I couldn't tell you who the artist is because it's just a clone of what everybody else was drawing at the time. And I like those unique styles that don't fit, which is why we had John Dillard do a different style for Rift Riders, because we wanted something that would stand out and not be like just more of the same that's out there. We wanted something kind of unique, and we liked it. But Blue says, I wish I didn't know just how bad it is that 50% of mainstream creators have the maturity of third graders on an unsupervised playground. They hurt others' careers and reputations to elevate oneself. Yeah, it is, dude. It is.
That's weird too, because they really don't. They didn't need to. They just needed to do it on their own freaking merit. Like,
just do their job. Yeah, just kind of do your thing. But yeah, that is one thing that I've noticed, that it's very petty and catty, and not just among mainstream guys. Here's the problem: in the indie circle, in the indie circles, there are circles that won't interact with each other, and I'm not just talking about CG, anti-CG, because I'm not flying those hashtags these days, and I'll do a video sometime expressing more in greater detail why I'm not. It's a personal thing, and it's a religious thing. The reason why I'm not doing it. But even inside, like, there's like this little group of, oh well, they're friends with so and so did something to me back in the day, and so we don't associate with them, and everyone's talking bad about everybody else, and there's little cliques and little things like that, and there's like, oh well, I can't believe you backed that book. You know what they did? So they'll get their friends to refund their stuff, and they'll block them on social media. It's like, what is this, high school? Last time I checked, we're grown. We are grown people.
Middle school.
We are grown people.
Right. Yeah, I get that. It's it's hard because, like, someone like me who, for me, there's all this stuff here. This is all internet stuff, right? Yeah. So, they call me the fence sitter. And it was supposed to be an insult, because I always said I was neutral. Like, I stay out of the stuff. Why am I going to get involved with two grown men having a fight on the internet? It's not my business. I don't care as long as their books are good, like, whatever.
Yeah.
So now I lean into the meme. But they call me the fence sitter. And it's like, yeah, I'll hang out and I'll chat with, like, you guys. And I might go hang out and chat with somebody that either doesn't like you or you don't like them or whatever. But at the end of the day, what you guys have going on between you two has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's not my fight. That's not my fight. If you have an axe to grind, don't make me.
I just
don't make me
really
spin the
hate
wheel.
it when they expect you to make it your problem.
Yeah, it's not my problem.
Right.
It's not my problem.
But you get judged for it, right? Like, I've been literally just recently blocked by people who I thought I got along with, for the simple fact that somebody they like doesn't get along with somebody that I actually converse with and am friendly with, will actually get I get along with their enemy. You know what I mean?
I've had people talk to, like, I'd go on someone's show and they're in their DMs saying, I can't believe you got Luke on there. You know what? Like, you know, and they've got some beef against me or whatever. You know,
Same.
it's like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, that's stupid. Or, hey, you know, there's been people who's like, oh, I won't go on a stream if they're on the stream. Now, there's certain people I won't willingly walk into a situation that I know is going to piss me off.
Yes.
Right, but if that
So I
person,
just try to avoid those. But if we're on a stream together, that's fine. I don't care.
right,
you know?
you try to be as professional and as
Right,
positive because you're in your mutual friend's living room, right?
Yeah.
If you walked into your buddy's house and there was a dude sitting on the couch that you didn't get along with, you're not going to start a fight in the middle of your buddy's living room and trash his.
Some of these jokers would. Some of these jokers would, though. That's
and
the
trash
problem.
his house, right?
True.
Yeah. So Nick has to make a good point because it seems like we all have to cross over to more very overlapping groups, audience, customer scarcity is a real thing if you limit the casting of your nets. And that is a thing, you know, like when you go in your bio and you go like, you say CG is a hate group, right? Well, anyone that either associates or loosely associates with that moniker is now they're going to be put off by you. They're not going to want to buy your book. They're not going to want to listen to you. Or if you go in there and you're like, you're putting down someone that voted for Biden, whether you think it was smart or stupid or whatever, you're potentially putting somebody off, you know? I love when Dolly Parton's a classy lady, right? And she was interviewed right after the whole Trump thing or whatever. And they asked her voting pattern, like whatever, like her thought or viewpoint was. And she goes, look, I'm here to sing songs, make people happy, you know, to entertain people. I'm not here to, nobody cares about my politics. I'm not an expert on that stuff. So why would I, you know, what, if I'm not an expert on that, I'm not going to talk about it or whatever. And like, I wish more people had that mentality. Like, look, I'm not an expert. You know, like there are people that will continuously give their viewpoint and their opinion and their 2 cents just because they want to give it. But they're not an expert. So if you're not an expert and you're admittedly not an expert, then back out for a second. You know, just have your opinion. You can share if people really want to know. But at the end of the day, don't start real wars. Here's my problem. People start real wars over cartoons. Like they're fighting. They have real fights over cartoons, man. It just drives me crazy. So why would you want to limit your audience that way? It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I think we're dealing a lot with. One thing I wish I didn't know was the business side of things. I was so naive getting into it. I just loved comics. I just wanted to make comics. I really wanted them, you know. I just loved it. And then I found out, like, okay, print costs, shipping, you know, and then people told me I was doing it wrong. They're like, oh, well, you can't do that in a comic. I'm like, I can't do that? I thought I could do whatever I wanted to do. And I found out, like, oh, there's this hidden set of rules that I've got to... Now, I've learned there are some best practices, but sometimes all that other stuff just takes away from the fun of making a comic book and selling a comic book to people, you know.
When I
wish I
started
didn't know
out in
some of that.
comics, I had a story I wanted to tell, and I had this whole story in my head, you know, written down, and I was like, you know, I could make a book, but I've been a comic collector for a lot of years, and that's just going to be easier. I'll go make a comic book.
Right.
And that's going to be so much easier, and it'll be quicker, and I'll get it done and get it out there. And
No.
yeah, I had
Comic
no
books are
clue.
expensive to make, they're hard to make, and they take a long time to make. And we're learning that. Like, so I'm doing a book with Justin Sweet actually in LA, is the colorist on that project. And we were working on, I told him, like, look, this takes time. You know, it's like if you want to build a universe, it takes a long time to put 10 pages out, let alone 110 pages. It's going to take forever. But LA's playing devil's advocate here. Says, yes, there can be buyer fatigue, but in my opinion, it's about undeniable quality. But I will rebuttal that I know some smaller creators that have undeniable quality in storytelling and in art and in production, but they don't have the audience because they don't have the personality to be on camera, to go to the streams and to get known. Or There's people that they're very good at what they do, but they're just so freaking unlikable. And I think we're all thinking of someone right now. We've all got someone in our mind. They're like, well, they're good at what they do, but they're so freaking unlikable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheesh, my dog there. Mo says, how do you think I, as an independent crack dealer, feel when Big Pharma comes in with their huge TV ad-fueled platform selling their own woke prescription drugs? I think it probably upsets you when they're encroaching upon your livelihood. And I'm on Team Mo here. Steve says, right now, I've had to pause some of my backing of comics and that I believe in due to the passing of my mom. Man, I'm so sorry to hear that, dude. I lost my dad a year ago, October 9th, and I lost my mom back in 2008. It sucks to lose a parent, man. My heart breaks for you right now. But once things get back to normal, I'll be back to backing books.
You were awake at that point, though, right?
Yes and no. I woke up on October 6th, and I was supposed to have a video chat with my dad because I knew the time was coming close. I was supposed to have a chat with him on the 8th. So they woke up. They said, okay, maybe tomorrow. So the 7th didn't work. The 8th will probably work. That didn't work for me. I wasn't doing well. And so I had the surgery to put in my feeding tube, and my stomach perforated, and they had to do emergency abdominal surgery. And I wound up having 18 staples in my stomach and all kinds of mess. And so I didn't have the energy, and he passed away on the 9th, the morning of the 9th. So they thought, yeah, he'll be fine tomorrow, because they were going to try to make me do it on the 8th, like wake me up from the surgery long enough to be on the phone. They said, no, we think he'll make it till tomorrow. And he passed away the morning of his birthday. October 9th was his birthday. And because of the condition I was in, they didn't tell me about it until late October. Yeah, so it wasn't until I moved to the other facility that they finally told me my dad had passed. And so for like a week, they were wondering why I was in this funk. And I'm like, well, I just found out I did get a chance to say goodbye to my dad. Like, what do you think that'll do to you? You know? And I couldn't talk because I was trach, so I couldn't even talk about it. You know, like when they say, hey, you need to talk about it. I couldn't talk about it. I mean, it was all internal processing. And so, yeah, it was pretty rough. So, man, I get what you're going through, Steve, and my heart breaks for you, brother.
Yeah, man, that's rough.
If you ever just need to talk about it, man, just let me know. It turns out that that's actually what I used to do for a living, is talk to people about their problems. Mostly just listen. But we got T-Buns right here. Thanks, T-Buns, for showing up. And great idea. Nick says, I keep my prices as low as I can when I do things because people are hurting, and selling low to many helps others. Finds my stuff and the stuff of folks I promote. Absolutely. So yeah, we're working on lowering prices with having a new printer, that kind of stuff. So printing, man.
Oh, did you ever get the...
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Yeah, doing the cost cutting stuff it's gotta be rough for writers. You know what I mean? Because you have the overhead of the artists and stuff like the one man band type of writer artist you know, those guys got it made. You know.
So this is a test print with a new printer.
Nice.
Turned out great. The paper is quality. I feel better selling this at $5 for retail, or we might have to raise that price. I'm not sure. But right now at $5, we're trying to do $5 at the table. I feel better about that with this because it's more premium paper. So yeah, it turns out really good. And they're right across town, so it helps out in the end.
Yeah.
So we're trying to lower cost, increase value, so that we can do more for people. Baloo's going to grab some food and head to the gym. Have fun, man. Have fun.
Yeah, like I was saying.
That's one thing that surprised me was the cost of printing wasn't as much as I thought it was.
Yeah.
As a writer, I have to have an artist, I have to have a colorist, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
Get a 24-page, 32-page book done, and then the printing itself is cheap compared to that.
Oh, so here's one of the things I've found out, that a lot of guys like you that are writers and not artists, they will spend their money on the art, spend their money on the colors, and then try to do the lettering themselves to save money. And they're not good at lettering. So it takes all that money they put in the art and colors, and it throws it out the window, because bad lettering can totally destroy a good book.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
But like I've taught my, it's, as an artist, it's easy to, not just want to say it's easy, but learning to letter is,
Yes, Luke does.
learning to letter is like kind of like learning a new instrument for a musician. It's not easy, but it can be done because you already have it like in your wheelhouse of things to do. And I think I got to be honest. I think I did for my first time out, a bang up job on my. It's actually my second time lettering. The first time was when I did the ash can for War to Wizard, and that lettering was atrocious because I would just rush through it. But I sat down and I learned how to do different things this time. And there's still things that I can look, now that I'm looking at the book as it's printed, I'm like, oh, I could have fit those words in the bubble a little bit better. Like, it's too small, like the bubble's too big or the bubble's too small or stuff like that. But, yeah, if you can learn it and learn it well, that'll help save some money. But if you can't, don't ruin your book.
So, so here's the deal. I letter, and I've lettered longer than I've drawn comics because I knew I wanted to get into comics, and in order to do that, I had an artistic eye, and I could do the lettering well, especially with Photoshop and Illustrator. I was pretty good at it, and so I actually started lettering comic books so I could work on comic books occasionally, and so now I actually offer my lettering services at a discount to people that are trying to make budget. Because I would rather take less money to letter their book than have them put all of that effort into making a good-looking book and then kill it with subpar lettering. Man, I'm telling you, it makes such a difference.
Yeah, I've done some lettering, and it's hard. It's not as easy as it looks.
It's not. You got to find the right font.
Yeah.
You got to, you got to learn placement. All that stuff. But creating your own, what I found fun was creating like if someone talks a certain way and you want to visually represent that with like the style of the bubble and the font, like you make it stylized or something. Creating that is kind of cool. Like that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick is a fellow fence sitter with you there, Anthony.
Though I did see him talk about pineapple pizza, and I'm gonna have to say, I usually keep out of people's stuff, but you're talking about pineapple on pizza. I might have to go toe to toe with you on that one.
Have you tried it?
Yes, it's horrible.
I tried it. I liked it. Tastes are subjective. Tastes are subjective.
Yeah, I know. I always tease people.
Now, LA does bring up a good point. Here's another thing about the industry that I didn't know, and I wish I hadn't died that I didn't know, is that so he's come from tattooing where people are proud to pass down knowledge in comics. It's like people want to hoard knowledge. There are a few people that will share their tips, tricks, and their vendors. But I've noticed people like, oh, that color is really good. I'd like to hire them. Can I get their info? People's like, no. They don't want to tell who their colorists are. They don't tell their artists are, who their letterers are. They don't want to say who they're getting their prints from, where they get their standees from, where they get the, it's like, where did you get that? They just don't want to share that information. And I'm like, I'm happy to share it. But
if everybody uses the same colors, their rate's going to go up.
Right, yeah. Because, they don't want them to get more work. But here's the thing. If you say, hey, I'm sending you more work, they might grandfather you in at a lower price because you're helping put food on the table, which I've been done. That's happened to me. Like, I'm grandfathered in on a few people. They're like, oh, no, we'll keep you at this price because you brought me more work. So I actively try to promote the people, and I want the people I work with to be successful. Because if they're successful, editing. I'm successful. Right? Yeah.
For editing. Although I don't really change. I don't really change my rates. I keep an eye on. I guess what the going rates are, and then I undercut them. That's what I do.
It's a dog eat dog world out there, and I'm wearing milk bone underwear.
I do like to try to like, either like, because I'm always looking for tips, like, oh, like, where'd you get that done? How much did you get that done for? This, that, and the other thing. Thanks, Lacan. Appreciate it. But I do have to say, there is one vendor that is mine until the end of 2023, and then I will pass it on to everybody. And that's the tapestries.
Fair enough. I don't think everybody has to share all of their secrets.
Right.
But I do love freaking just sharing as much as I possibly can with other creators. Like, I would just be like, oh, hell yeah, I went to so-and-so. They're freaking... I don't really do anything on the print end, though.
Welcome, Toto.
But then, like, even, like, editing-wise, I answer people's questions all the time, and I still sometimes we'll do, a little proofread for free on some people. I love freaking helping other creators, like, as much as I can.
So do I, yeah.
So I love what Randy's saying here. So Randy is... he's a veteran of the indie publishing circle. With Arrow Comics, I have a book that has Randy's name on it, published in 1983. I was 3 years old at the time. So Randy has been, at least from that point, and he's probably been publishing longer than that, but so at least 40 years? At least 40 years he's been publishing comic books. So I'm sure he's run across a couple enemies and made a few friends in that time. But he said it's sad to see any enemies in the business, but sometimes it can't be helped. That shouldn't keep you from other friends. We're all here to set examples. And I that is the other thing. I think people forget that other eyes are on them. How they treat other creators, people they disagree with. I was told about character. I don't know. Tell me if your dads or moms ever taught you this. That people are going to know what kind of person you are by how you treat the people you disagree with.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was also told, people know the kind of person you are by just how you treat. I don't want to use the term that my grandfather used, because he wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but I can see why it would be. Right. Yeah. Servers, stuff like that. That if you I've been in the industry long enough that I know my worth, and I know that if I say something that might piss off a customer, if I explain it, like if it gets back to my boss, and my boss comes to me, I could be like, well, listen, this is what happened. Like, I've had people do the whole snap their finger thing at me, do one of these, and order, and I'll turn around to them and be like, my job description is, when I used to wait tables, I would be like, my job description is server, not servant.
Yeah.
And it's just a way to wake them up. Like, you're being a dick. It's like you're calling them out without actually saying the words that you want to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome, Direct TV. He says, I don't care what anyone tells me. You can't nobody tell me nothing. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone tells me about how to draw my comic. I draw my comics the way I want to. And you go right ahead and do that. Now, the customers decide whether they like it or not. And it should be up to the customers and not up to me to tell you how to draw your comic book. If you don't draw it the way I like it, then I'm probably not going to be a customer. But maybe I like the way you draw your comic book. Maybe I like that. And if I like it, yeah, and I buy it. So none of you come at me for liking that. Now, Mo actually, for all the joking around, actually has something very wise to say here. If you don't have an audience or the personality to develop an audience, you might have to spend a lot on advertising and or hire a promo guy on the team. If people don't know about your book,
right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And he continues that the quality doesn't matter. I know it sounds harsh, but if they don't know how, if don't know how to do electrical work, you can either hire an electrician or sit around cursing the darkness. Very good point. I don't know how to promo my YouTube channel, so I hired someone to promo my YouTube channel. I got a lot of subs, but I don't know how to get them to interact. So sometimes they swing by. So I've got to figure that out. I've got to have people teach me. If you don't know how to letter, hire someone to letter. But yeah, if you don't have the personality to grow an audience, or even the time or knowledge, then you need to partner up with people to do that. You have to find a way to get your work out there.
And I feel bad because I see people like I won't name names, but like there's especially a specific creator, young kid, has a great book. You know, his art and colors are amazing, but he just has no pizzazz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's also has like a speech impediment or social awkwardness about him that makes it hard for him to like talk, and like for him to pitch a 30-second pitch would take like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like he needs somebody like to do that for him. You know what I mean?
See you, Nick.
I gotta try to.
And the Muse of Destruction is here. Welcome. We are actually getting ready to close things down. We've been at this an hour and 10. We said we were going to do this for an hour. So
I feel bad. I haven't said too much. I have a lot of opinions on this, but I haven't said much. Tired.
Yeah, and feel free to give your opinions.
I'm guilty of I will treat people the way they treat me, and so you know.
Yeah.
But you notice when somebody pokes you a whole bunch until you react, and then they run off and they go, "Oh my god, they're so mean."
I can't believe it. Yeah. So because I react. So little. When I do react, people make a big deal about how that I even reacted, let alone how I reacted. But you know, to me, it's.
I think that burns me because people know they can do it. I've gotten like every year I get a little bit better, but people know they can do it.
Yeah, that's one thing, and we've talked about this. You and I've talked about this. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and if people know Piper, they know how to get a reaction out of Piper. That's the thing. They know what will get you, and people don't know how to get me.
Yeah, you're lucky.
but when they do, they get a reaction that they're not prepared for. That's the sad part. Like they're not prepared for it, and then I'm a bad guy because I reacted. But
yeah, and it doesn't seem to even matter how I react, as long as I react at all. Period. That seems to be all people need for the way. Piper's so mean.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
I have 5 kids, so it takes me a long time to react to much.
We'll read a couple more comments and we'll start to move along here. While I'm at it, I want to take a moment to say I'm very proud of all independent comic creators, and to you all, I thank you for taking me away from the reality of the world, if only for a while. Y'all kick it awesomely, and thank you, because that's the thing. Now, for all the things that I wish I didn't know about the industry, I want to end on a really positive note. Okay. Comic books are incredibly awesome in several instances. I was able to connect with friends at school when I was being bullied because of comic books and through comic books. Guys, girls, we're pretty sure at least one of them was gay. You know, back then I was too afraid to admit it. But none of us would have cared. None of us cared. We all connected through comic books. At the convention over the last weekend, there was these kids that got so excited about the comic book in their hand. And I remembered being that little guy, seeing those pictures, those brightly colored pictures, and these strong guys, and just these powers and the explosions on the page, and just how into it I was. And for all of the negative that's out there, for all of the crap that you have to go through to make an independent comic book, for all of the junk that you have to deal with piss poor personalities, there are 1,000 good reasons to make comic books and to support comic books. And I don't want anyone to stop, you know, and that's why we want to use this channel, this platform, to talk about some good along with all of these things. And there are a lot of good books and projects out there. And so we're working on a campaign. We're trying to discuss the process by which we can encourage people to back one and buy one. You know, for every project that you know is going to be successful. Take a chance on one that you've never heard of before.
Absolutely.
For every mainstream or well-known creator that you are just chomping at the bit to back, let's go find one that we don't know so well, and take a shot on their book, and see if we can learn something, or experience something fun. Maybe we can be a new fan, and have that creator that's we have total access to. Well, maybe not total access, but a lot of access to. Because Ripa ain't calling you.
Right.
Ripa's not going to have private conversations with you about his book. He's got
Right.
he's too many people to do that.
But
Yeah.
I agree. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay.
I was just gonna say, the buy one back one. I think some people, I don't know, got pissed at me at how I was trying to word the idea, because I got like way too like overcomplicated when I should have just kept it as simple as I didn't even think about, as Luke put it, though, with the you back these big campaigns that you know are going to be successful because you want the stuff. Yeah, because you're a fan of the creator, obviously. That's why you want their stuff, I would hope. Either that or you just like their stuff. But you know that they're gonna do fine with or without you. And it's just, it's fun. And that's why I keep saying, while your wallet is open for that, go real quick and peek through Twitter or wherever you get your comic indie campaign news. Go poke through there and just don't just, I'm not saying, I don't know, back some random person, and I'm not even going back me. And I'm not saying back the highest tier to push them over the funding goal. No, just take that same moment, scroll through real quick, find a small indie, small campaign that still actually interests you. And it can be the smallest tier. It could be even the typing in $1. But you get the satisfaction.
Well, no, I wouldn't do that. I would find their digital tier. Find their cheapest tier.
I was going to say that's true, because then you're not actually getting their book. You
Yeah,
don't get
you're
to
not
actually
actually
see what they're all
experiencing them.
about. Yeah.
So
it can even be that digital tier.
Yeah. So
Forgot.
speaking of that, the
So you get there you go. You get the satisfaction of both. You get the satisfaction of your favorite creator and their cool stuff, but you get the satisfaction of, I also helped somebody.
Keely,
Back a
welcome.
project, back a dream.
Yeah, back a project, back to dream. Yeah, we like that. So we're working on that campaign to kind of create a hashtag that that can really try to take some. And Bunny had the idea, and so we're working on putting legs to Bunny's idea.
Yeah, this was Bunny's idea.
Yeah, to move this in a.
He was worried about tweeting it, and I have no shame, I guess.
we want to do it in a very positive way that's not framed as in any way negative, but really focuses on the consumer and taking a chance on something that you haven't seen before, which is why commercial time, we have to pay the bills around here, and so part of paying the bills is talking about our own projects. On Riff Writers, we actually have a featured tier that includes 8 books, 8 number ones from Arrow Comics, for $50 plus shipping, which is a great deal for independent books. It's a great value. Plus, you get all the physical stretch goals that comes along with that, with the campaign. So you're going to get all of those, but it gives you an opportunity not only just take a shot on Rift Writers, which is a brand new
so many band
IP.
wise.
Yeah, which is not only a brand new IP, but you get to take a look at hybrids, Only Death Can Save Us, HeroBot Zero, Sin Killer, Paragon, and a couple others. I'm drawing a blank, but
Was the
so
Only
we
Death
got all
Can
these
Save
books.
Us in there?
Yeah, Only Death Can Save Us is
Okay,
in there.
it is an era. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we've got that one, and then Paragon, Calico, and the Revolt book. So you're getting 8 books to take a chance on, and we've also got a digital tier. And our digital tier is $5. So you could take a shot on it with that. So if you haven't backed, I do encourage you to go back and take a look at one of those 2 tiers, and consider backing those. If we've sold you through some of the stuff that we've presented in the campaign on the title, then back higher. But if we haven't sold you, then we ask, please take a chance on what we've got, because we believe in it.
And
we
honestly,
think you'll like it.
This is a benefit too of the smaller audience is tell me why I didn't sell you on, like, or you took a chance and you didn't like it. Tell me what you didn't like though. Like, I could use that information. It'd be very useful.
Yeah, constructively, so we could learn.
Yeah, not the you suck, but the
let's bring Sally Struthers on board.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mo, for that. I appreciate that.
For just $5 a day.
Yeah,
Dark
why
Horse
says
really is dark.
That's the beauty of indies, discovering new creators. Yeah, it is. And so we're
arms of an angel.
Yeah. So we're gonna work out that and really kind of get some legs to that. I was a little disparaging about it this morning, but only because I was like, that could really, if we don't frame that movement well, then people can they would.
That's why I took
right
down
on
my first attempt at talking about it. I took it all down because it wasn't like I was over explaining, and that was just like it wasn't coming off right. I think I did good the second time.
Yeah, he might, and Blue might actually get fatigue after backing all these. Well, hey, I want to thank the panel for being here. Thank you, panel. You've been great to chat with today. But I really appreciate our chat. Our chat has been amazing. The NerdCap chat has been amazing tonight. Thank you for your input and your feedback. I know I didn't get to all of the comments tonight, but that's going to get to that point, and the more we grow, a little harder it's going to be. But we are seeing those things. We are reading them and trying to pop those up there as best we can. I do encourage you to become a channel member. So we are going to be putting out content that you're going to get first access to. So I've talked about earlier about doing these review videos of the actual packaging, and so as those come out, they're going to be available to the channel members early. So you're going to get early access to those things before we make those public on the YouTube channel. So please consider that. Please like, subscribe, share. Head over and back Rift Riders, or at least take a look at Rift Riders for us. Check that out. You can access that by going to LukeStoneStudios.com. That's LukeStoneStudios.com, and there is a link right as soon as you get down past the first title that has a little says back Rift Riders. Go and check that out. Anthony, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me hanging out at my channel, Dark If Comics Presents, and everything else that we got going on with Lightbringer 2 signups and Pariah Blood and Mud signups. All that stuff you can find at my website, darkifcomics.com.
Awesome. Thank you. Todd.
Thank you.
So you can find me at Redshift_comics. Got too many. Redshift_comics at Twitter, and redshiftcomics.com.
That's why I put everything on my website. So everybody's just go there. I can't remember everything else.
I need to go fix and update mine so I could just do that.
Yeah. All right, Piper. What's going on?
Oh, well, you can go to my website anyway, adventuresofpiper.net. I'll fix it as soon as I have time.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. Oh, I thought she was done. I thought you were done because you just like trailed off.
No, because I'm just thinking about the whole
Please
never
continue.
having time to do my own stuff thing.
Right. Yeah.
But you can also find me at Piper's Adventure on Twitter, and that's usually how you can figure out what I'm doing at any given moment, because I'll tell you, even if I'm pooping.
Yeah.
So be ready for that.
Yeah. There is that.
She'll tell you.
She'll tell you. She'll tell you. Oh man. So anyway, it's been great. Please be praying for all the folks here in Florida. We've got a hurricane coming. So
yeah, stay safe down there, bro.
Yeah. Yep. I'm posting the picture to show where we are. Unfortunately, it looks like the hurricane so far, latest model, it's hitting just south of Tampa, and it's gonna roll right across Jacksonville. And so, so it's gonna go all the way across the state, and hopefully it will lose steam by the time it gets here. But we may be out of town. We may.
I was gonna say, are you evacuating?
we may pop out of town, man.
There's that
Well, maybe not evacuate.
That is totally you, Anthony. I swear to God.
Well,
What?
we are what?
That boop sound
Oh, yeah.
made it on Finatra's stream too.
I went no. I did
Oh,
that.
that's you?
him.
Okay.
That's me, yeah.
I'm not looking at the screen. I'm not looking at the right screen.
Yeah. So
Okay,
anyway, we're supposed to be going to some friends this weekend up in North Carolina, and so we may just leave just ahead of the storm so we can miss it, and yeah, and leave mom and dad with the pets. Sorry, mom and dad, but you know how it is. All right, well, everybody, thanks for being here tonight. I think we should we end out on the song that we opened up with in case some of our people missed it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it might trigger you, but we really don't care so much about people
I just
getting
think
triggered.
it's cute. I don't even get it, but I think it's cute.
It is. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I hate to do this. I'm going to jump off while the song's playing because I have to
That's
jump
fine.
on another stream. But thank you so
That's
much
fine.
for having me back
Anthony,
again this week. I had fun.
Yeah. Anytime,
Heck
man.
yeah.
You can be a
Anthony's
regular
everywhere
installment
now.
if you
That's
like.
great.
So, all right, chat. You have a good night. Thank you for being here, and stay classy, San Diego. Here you go. Check this out.
Bye.
Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over and over. To lead by an any big fat love, find common ground to hold the spread of lies, and we must do it big fat love, find common ground to hold the spread of lies, and any America first, America first, non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication very much higher. America first. To lead by an any insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. America first. Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over and over. To lead by an any big fat love, find common ground to hold the spread of lies, and we must do it big fat love, find common ground to hold the spread of lies, and any America first, America first, non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication very much higher. America first. To lead by an any insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. America first.